Welcome to this week's Career and Entrepreneurship Tips and Tricks. Welcome to this week's Career and Entrepreneurship Tips and Tricks. I am your host, Melanie Bessie, and with me we have Shirley Williams. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you for
Public
having me.
Library.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's hungry time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a little background on Michelle and then we'll have her speak a little bit more. Michelle Williams, Casada Gardens number 4, is the owner of Macra Miche. She is a self-taught macrame artisan who operates a small business from the comfort of her own home. As a macrame artist, she remembers having one previous experience with the art of macrame. This was during her tenure at Hall Secondary School when she had to recreate a wall hanging in the craft room. She found her passion for macrame in September of 2018 when she explored the art in hopes of recreating a bracelet which she saw on Pinterest. Michelet can be described as a genuine, reserved, and ambitious person who believes in putting her best foot forward. She is quite the minimalist who does not like wearing jewelry. However, she values her talent and loves to see other people wearing her craft. So, tell us a little bit more about you and
All right, so about me, in addition to the wonderful short bio, I am most definitely an ambitious person. I'm self motivated. I find the time to do things that I love, which is spending lots of time or as much time as possible with my family. I do love to go on drives, and I also just like to be in the comfort and quiet of my home. Most times you will find me by myself or, yeah, with my family. Macrame for me was a hobby in September of 2008. And within 3 months or so, I decided that the passion that I feel for this particular art was going beyond what I would have preferred to just keep as a hobby. So at the time, I was making my products, I started with bracelets, and I would just give them to family members or friends. My father and my grandmother encouraged me to start selling my pieces, to put value to my time. And when they told me that, I started to do more research in order to level up or get to the next level to make bigger and better items. Then is when I would have extended myself from bracelets to earrings and anklets and so on and so forth. I also took the time to register my business as the intellectual property, and also I would have gone in the revenue to register the business here as well.
That's very, very important. So, would you call it your passion? Would you call it more of a hobby now, like right now as it is? Or would you call it something that is running through your
Well, I always tell persons that I'm very passionate about macrame and passionate about the pieces that I recreate. So I'll just say it's running through my veins. Like everything that I do is with regards to macrame, with regards to macrame and like that. So most times persons would see me put we instead of I, and we is because I'm saying me myself, Michelle, and macrame. So the two of us are just one entity. So we kind of thing. I tend to say myself that if it is that I can continue bringing persons happiness with the products that I've made, if I can continue to inspire other persons by what I do and being myself, then I will definitely continue to do that.
So it's something that really excites you as
Correct.
your work. Okay. All right. So as a macrame artist, what difficulties do you find as an entrepreneur macrame artist? What are some things that you would consider difficult?
Okay, so the challenges that I am facing now is not delegate. And that just simply means that I am a person who tries to do every single thing on my own. I've been independent for as long as I've known myself. My family members tend to always try to assist me with projects, like outside of Macra, from the onset. Projects, if I have errands to run, I always have someone trying to lend a helping hand. And I am grateful, but most times I just prefer to do it on my own because there's this thing about me, whereas I figure if I do it myself, it is done how I want it and it's done correctly. If someone else does it, then I'll still go and look it over. And I think that is counter productive because I'll have someone do it and then I'm going back to do it again or to check it over. So not being able to delegate sometimes is a major challenge for me because I find myself not having the time to do it. Once I set out to do Macra Miche related projects or tasks, I have no time at all to do anything else because I'm crafting, I'm pricing, when I'm getting ready for markets, I'm putting on price tags, I'm getting information ready to give to customers with regards to each product. I'm deciding what colors to use. There are one or two times I may definitely talk to a friend or two and send them my color list. I'll be choose a color for this time. What color you think is good with this particular design? But I still do every.
And then all this is done during the time that you're still making products
Correct.
for your market.
Correct.
And also orders.
Correct, because I am handling my social media platforms, which include WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So I have to decide what I want to post on a specific day, how I'm going to do it, and taking pictures and videos of my products, things that I'm doing, so that I can remain engaged with my customers on the social media platform. So
you honestly, a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes
I could
really
see the overwhelming feeling just there. That's the mouthful, right?
Yeah,
there.
Sometimes I really don't know how I do it, but once I'm done, I am tired. And even though I'm tired, I find myself still working. I tend to work better.
It's not as hot.
And it's a little more quiet. So while everyone is sleeping, I am there getting my work done. Whether it is I'm fulfilling orders or making products get to the market, or just decide to go and practice my technique, because practice is very important, especially with that.
So give me a little brief rundown of the process of properly making a bracelet.
Okay, so if I'm going to make a bracelet, the first thing I'm going to decide on is the particular design or pattern that I'm going to. Then I need to decide or determine the color. Again, sometimes that is the hardest part. Because if it was just up to me, I would use dark colors. I love black, I love navy blue, and I love gray. So that's all my pieces would be made from. But I do have a lot of bright colors. I have over 20 colors to choose from. So from time to time, I would say, okay, let me make something in blue, but I may not do a blue piece. I would choose a different shade of blue. So fusion blue. I have Dodger blue, navy blue, cyan, dark cyan.
In fact, when we were going to school, it was just blue, red, yellow, orange.
Primary colors. And honestly, most times, those are the colors that persons gravitate to. Some persons gravitate towards blue, purple, red, yellow, green, black. I really have persons randomly select the color orange. And that's because they're like, oh, I want to try a different color. So they're like, okay, let me choose a random color. But then sometimes they ask me to choose a color for them. And if I don't know you that well, I would not be able to tell what color would be better on you or what design or style would fit your personality. So most times I just send them the link, all the colors, choose your color. If I choose, you're getting something black.
Of course.
You're getting black. It was black was
I heard you speak of the catalog that you sent. What kind of stones do you just use? Regular beads, regular nylon? What kind of material?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when I'm making pieces, I use polyester cord. I used to use cotton cord when I started, However, I am big on providing superior product. So quality is number one when it comes to my product. And in the earlier times when I started, I realized that cotton is not strong enough in terms of color. The color fades when you put it in water, it fades over time wearing on the skin, sweat, and other products that you use on your skin. So I would have done some more research, purchased a small quantity of polyester, a small quantity of nylon, and work with that. And I have to also be very careful with the size cords I use for this project. So that is another thing that I would have to decide or determine when I make it. And adding to the previous question, I would have to determine how much material it would take to make it, whether it be beads, the cord, or just like what the design would entail altogether. So I do use gemstone crystal, the healing crystal. This is correct. Each crystal has a healing property. And I would have gone into that because persons would have requested it or recommended it, they heard about it. So basically I started to follow demand. It is very important when you have a small business, you listen to your customers. You encourage them to engage in feedback. Ask certain questions that will allow them to give you the answers that you need. Don't just ask random questions because then random answers are nothing for you.
And then you might end up with a piece that you can't.
Correct. Correct. So basically, that is what I do. With regards to pricing, I try as much as possible to price my items what they're worth, but at the same time, I may dial back a $10 or $5 depending on the target market. So that is very important. When you have a niche market, you must know your target audience so you can know how to price your items, so you can know what items to make, you can know which social media platforms to reach them on. Because sometimes we tend to decide, okay, we're going to post this on Facebook, or we're going to post this on Instagram. But what if the audience that you are looking for, the audience that you're trying to provide the item, is not on those social media platforms? What if the persons are on TikTok? You have to be willing to go outside of the box or go out of your comfort zone to get to the target market that you are required to receive in order to be possible.
And it sounds like you've done a lot of research. According to things that I've seen you post,
A whole lot. I've been doing this for basically 3 years. However, it's only been a year now since I've put all my focus into my, I should say more of my, more and more of my focus, like 95 on a daily basis is on practice. I do a lot of research, a lot of practice, a lot of testing with regards to quality control. Once again, superior product is my biggest goal or my main when I am.
so judging on your experience thus far, how much you've grown and learned, what do you think, or what would you suggest is the most important thing to do for your business? In terms of maybe branding, it may be creating pieces, it may be, the whole, I mean, everything is important, but what would you say is
There's a tie and there's no tiebreaker. The tie would be between me making the piece and me interacting. I'm a very interactive entrepreneur. I don't just go about my day trying to make an extra dollar. That's not what I do. If today is not profitable or it's not successful, I rest easy or feel the gratification from knowing that I made them happy by telling them about my product, by showing them my product, by selling my product. Sometimes I get sales. So both of those things.
right? And there's no time break.
No. No
Okay,
time.
what would be some tips or strategies you
Mhm.
would have to share with other persons that get into entrepreneurship?
Okay. So the first thing that I will tell anyone who is looking down the line of creating a business, starting their own business, getting into a niche market would be branded. Branded would first entail the name of your business. Beside the name of your business, and then seek out information from intellectual property to ensure that the business name that you're selecting is available. Because it really makes no sense for you to do all the hard work and spend a lot of money, quite a bit of money, branding your business, paying a graphic designer to create a logo, choosing colors, choosing the name and everything. And then when you decide to go to intellectual property, there is absolutely no way possible that you could use the name or the logo that you would have selected for your business. So I would say choose a name, contact intellectual properties to ensure that the name is available, and then you go from there. So the next step after your name is available or you've registered the business is to create a logo or get someone, a graphic designer, to create a logo that embodies your business idea. So for example, with Macra Miche, if anyone knows my logo is a circle, two little lines coming down. If you look at it clearly, you will see that it is a bracelet. And if you look at even the smallest detail, it is woven. So you can see like it's a picture of a braided bracelet with two little beads at the end of the hanger. Right? And that in itself embodies what I do. We made jewelry. When you're also getting your logo, dependent on the type of logo, it is always best to put it in a shape, whether it be a circle, a star, oval, rectangle, something like that, that will allow persons viewing the logo to be able to just pinpoint the logo. Use colors that are contrasting. The reason why I say this is because sometimes you see a logo and you cannot read the name from the logo. You can't understand what the business is supposed to be about. So that is very important. Have a social media presence. Decide which social media platforms you'd like to use and use them. Be consistent. Consistency is key. So if it is that you're deciding to post 1 to 3 times per week on social media, try to stick to it. What happens is that the algorithm for Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok will pick up that you are actively engaged on the social media platform and will continue to push your product or your service out to persons that are using the social media platform. And that in turn will more likes, more followers, more engagement. And more engagement can equate to more money. That simply means that you're getting maximum exposure that you need in order for persons to know about your business. You have to talk about your business to have a business, because if no one knows about your business, then obviously you will not have any customers. Even till today, I have persons say, oh wait, I've heard about Macra Miche, but I didn't know you were the person behind Macra Miche. And that's fine. Why I said that is because a lot of times persons think that if you're going to be posting on social media, you have to include yourself. You don't. Make your business speak for itself. Make your brand speak for itself. So just like I'm reserved and can sometimes being shy and don't want to be in my photos, don't want to be in my videos, have friends or family members or even customers who would send you customer appreciation posts, for example, selfies in your earrings, and you can use that so persons could get an idea of how the item looks on an actual human body, and that could help you as well to get more exposure on social media. Networking. It is very important to have a network or to form a network. So go into groups. For example, the Austin West Market. I am going to be participating in that market on Sunday, and there is a group chat where there are a lot of other small business owners, and I would tend to engage with them. We all engage with each other. And in the sense that networking is very important, you get more exposure that way also. Because once I'm sharing your product and you're seeing that I'm pushing your business, encouraging your business to grow, say one, say two, we expect persons to reciprocate the same. So other persons will share their information, share your product, share your flyers. Because at the same time, one customer may not only be interested in one item. So you may sell cake. you decide to share Macra stores. And of course, your customers who love cake may love jewelry as well. So they will end up supporting my business in turn, and vice versa. I sell jewelry, sell cake. I would push your business to cake, and my customers who love jewelry may love cake as well, and purchase cake from you. Networking is a very big thing, and honestly, I just touched the tip of the iceberg. I would recommend anyone to go and do a lot of research with regards to networking and to see how it would be able to assist your business in growing and maximize exposure. You need to be able to understand where you want to go and do what it needs to be done to get your business to the next level. Another big topic is customer service. I can't say this enough, but customer service should be of utmost importance to every business. No matter the customer, because not all customers are good customers, you have to research that as well to understand what are the qualities of good customers, or what does a good customer look like to your business, and try to tailor your services or tailor your customer service towards customers to ensure that they treat you with the same respect. But customer service is very important. Try to ensure that you're going above and beyond for your customers. In that way, I would also say break your own rules some of the time. Make exceptions for your customers within reason. Because at the same time, you don't want persons to take advantage of the exceptions that you're making, right? But be willing and able to handle certain situations on a case-by-case basis and interact with your customers. Communication is key. If you say that you're going to do something, get it done. If something comes up or something happens that you're not able to do it, or do it in the time or the way that you stated that you were going to, communicate with the customer. That is also part of customer service. There's a lot more that I can talk about in customer service, but it is in your own interest to do your groundwork. Not everything works for everyone. I could tell you what works for me, and that is being interactive with my customers. I smile, I speak politely, I am always courteous, and I'm gentle. Sometimes persons find it hard to provide great customer service because they think they have to pretend to be someone that they're not, and that is not required at all. Just be mannerable and do what is required of you and make it happen.
I love that. I absolutely. And you can tell that you're doing it from your heart, you know?
Yes.
I've seen a lot of people speak about their business and you just don't feel that fire, but girl.
I get that a lot. There was this event that I went to a few weeks ago at the workers union, and one customer came to me and he's like, "Tell me a little bit about your business." And as I started to speak, he's watching me and he's smiling. Afterwards, he's like, "Yes, I can tell that you're really passionate about what you do just by the way you speak about your business and what it is that you do." And that is very important. Don't just go into a niche market or go into business just for the sake of it. Of course, we all want to make money, but it is always best to do something that you love. If you love what you do, then you will do it time and time again, and there is nothing that is going to stop you from trying to elevate to the next level. More on marketing, I would say take opportunities. Of course, not every opportunity is worthwhile, but at some point you will need to be able to sit down and calculate the pros and cons of every opportunity that comes to you. If you receive an opportunity to go on a radio interview or television interview, especially if it's, please take the opportunity because you want the exposure. You want persons to know about your business. You want persons to know exactly what you do with regards to products and services. Sometimes we hear names of businesses and we're like, okay, no problem. Another business, another business. There are even times that we think a business is brand new because it's the first time we're hearing about it. But sometimes these businesses have been out there for the past 7 years. I don't know how to do it, but you need as much exposure as possible so that it can equate to income. Because operating a business at a loss or operating a business at break even if you love to do it, it will tear you down eventually.
So for a person like me that I'm super duper shy, would you have at least one tip or trick for a person like me to do it?
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't do it because they literally like they would be able to speak a whole storybook, but then when they get in front of that person or that camera or that radio, they just like, I'm freaking out.
Correct. I was that way also. Still kind of, but I still kind of, but I have two tricks to share with you. The first one, if you're passionate about it, again, once you have a passion or drive or love for something, there is nothing that will limit you from doing what needs to be done. So find your love in whatever it is that you're doing, so that helps you to speak. Your passion will speak for you and through you. And two, many of us have close friends, we have family members, we have friends that we can talk to about anything and everything. And of course, all business those things. So pretend that the person that you are speaking to on the interview is a close friend or family member. Once you see it that way, you will be able to speak, your interview will be flawless, and you will all the butterflies go away, all the self-doubt go away, everything goes away. Speak through passion and speak as if it's someone that you are acquainted with, someone that you know and love and trust telling certain information, you'll do fine.
So I know you said you're just in this 3 years, but what would you tell the younger entrepreneur? What would you tell that person to inspire? Or I mean, when you're starting off with something new, there are a lot of challenges, and what do you now would tell
my previous self? Yeah. Well, it all stems right back to the opportunity, and this is why I could tell persons this. I would have missed several opportunities because of being shy or reserved or thinking that I'm not ready. There are a lot of times I would contact someone for an interview opportunity or any opportunity, and they would be like, "Oh, I'm not ready." Get rid of the self-doubt, get rid of the procrastination, and just do it. At the end of the day, you need to get out your comfort zone. So I would tell my former self to remove yourself from your comfort zone. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. I remember doing my first, I think it was my first live interview. And yes, October, I had the opportunity to do an interview on Dave Lester's show, The Marketplace. And let me tell you, I had my product in the tub. I took out a few pieces because I was just losing it. It was my first time doing an interview that was going to be played by a radio and still by a camera. So I have to speak, and then I have to display my items and do everything. And I felt as if I was becoming overwhelmed, and I had to just remind myself that this is what you love to do. This is another opportunity for you to share your passion with the world. Just get it done. Took a few deep breaths. He made a joke that helped to break the ice a little bit more, and I just got it done. And I remember going home and taking out my phone and texting someone that I'm really close to. I'm like, I'm here. I didn't die. I stepped out of my comfort zone and I didn't die. Another thing I would tell my previous self is to give out more business cards. Give out more business cards. Post more on social media. I only really started to clamp down and posting on social media recently, but I would tell myself, post more on social media. Take more pictures of your product. Ensure that the pictures, I know, and I struggled with that in my earlier times because of not wanting to show what I'm doing. Honestly, if I look at myself then and myself now, it would seem a bit contradicting because the passion just continues to grow, but at the same time, back then, I was a little more reserved. Some reasons that I can explain, like for example, one, I had a very demanding job. So I hadn't had time to do a lot of things in the work shift. And I didn't want to put out my business too much, whereas of
You
course
get
the
too
demand,
busy,
right,
yeah,
the
then you
demand
can't
will go
meet
up
it.
and I can't meet the supply. Okay. Time management, I will push myself. That's time management and to communicate a little more in that sense. Because of course, even if I was pushing the business at that time, if orders came in that I would not be able to fulfill, all I had to do was have a conversation, ask them if they could get the item time or let them know that I would not be able to meet their time frame. Probably set policies at that time to allow persons to bring their orders earlier.
So
because there are a lot of persons that wait last minute, or even if it's not last minute, it's like maybe a week, and because of work, I may not be able to meet the timeline. So things like that, I would encourage my past self to do.
But definitely, all those things are awesome. I mean, I could relate to what you just said, but I guess time helps you build more, and I guess the exposure helps you get out your box. Because you're not going to go to a market and just stand up. Okay, you can just see, and I'm not going to talk. No, you have to engage. But definitely. So I'll give you this opportunity to tell everyone how to contact you with your awesome.
Thank you. All right, so I am on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all under the same name, Macra Miche. That's Macramiche. Sometimes as soon as you start typing Macra, it comes up. You just look for the white background, blue bracelet logo with Macra Miche in the middle. That's me. And you can contact me on WhatsApp or see my WhatsApp catalog at 726-4909. You are not required to message me on WhatsApp to see my catalog. Once you add the number to your phone or your contact list and you refresh your WhatsApp contact, you pull up my chat window and it's the store icon in the top right corner.
Thank you so much. I mean, I wish we had more time because trust me, all this information is so awesome and very helpful as well. Thank you very much for coming and taking the time out and giving one or two little secrets, tips and tricks. But again, thank you so much, and it was a pleasure.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Some of the points that I would have liked for us to touch on, with the interest of time, I will be posting it on my social media platform, mainly on Facebook, but I will try to make the post a little more concise for Instagram so that persons can get the additional information or tips and tricks that I would like to share, and also a little recap of what we spoke about. Well, thank you so much for having me.
It's Macra.
Yes. And thank you all for joining the live. You enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.